That's the doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hey, we're back again. I hope my level's cool. What's up, Glenn?
Buenos dias.
Yep. We gotta welcome everyone to the People's Weekly. To everyone who is listening on Twitch, we're not there again. We won't be there for a while till we figure it out, if we figure it out. So come over to Spreaker or go to the website. And I'm acting like they're really hearing this. Isn't that groovy?
Yeah.
The reason I said that was for people who listen in the future who might be like trying to find it on Twitch, all three of them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, we've got to figure it out." He said what to do. So yeah, peoplesradiounited.com. All the shows are there.
There you go.
So what's up in Canada, Glenn? Everything just paradise like always?
That's a rather subjective term, but you use the as always? Yeah, pretty much. People hating on their governments, COVID doing whatever it wants. Yeah.
Running
paradise.
amok.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting hopped up on caffeine and shrooms and wax, so we'll be cool in a minute. So yeah, today is the unfortunate, tragic, horrendous anniversary, 1 year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. And since then, there's been, I think, over 1,000 police. I think I'm peaking. Sorry if I'm peaking. I'm gonna get my trim down a little right here. There's been over 1,000 police murders. I got the exact number. I just can't find it right here, right now. But yeah, that's everyone was like, "Oh, finally justice." Derek Chauvin was convicted. But no, that's garbage, dude.
It's a temporary...
1,068 people have been killed by police. At least 1,068 people have been killed by police since the death of George Floyd 1 year ago. And as we all know, a lot of those people were unarmed. When I say unarmed, they didn't have a gun, or they weren't posing any threat with a gun. They've shot people with knives. They've shot people with bicycle parts. They've shot people with every kind of thing sticks, every kind of thing you can imagine, cell phones. These cops are out here just murdering people. And the stupid government, the Biden regime, wants to fund them more for more training, make it all better by throwing money at it. Yet they don't do that with homelessness. They don't do that with poverty. Why don't you throw money at that problem to make it better? Nah.
Well, the issue there is it's been decades that people have been compiling and calculating how much it would cost to get rid of issues of society like those. And they're cheaper than the bullshit they end up pissing all that money away on every time. So I don't think the issue is really about saving money.
No, it's about funding your little armies and your murder industry. Warmonger murder industry.
I think they should change that. I think the more accurate term when you mention these 1,068 would be that the overwhelming, vast, almost all majority, the right term that should be used by media is they were not a lethal threat. Because that's the way police forces elsewhere in the world still base their level of response.
I mean, here's the thing. If they dump it on people and the police happen to be there at that time, then yeah, whatever. You got to shoot back if they're trying to shoot people up, shoot a place up. If they're holding a gun in their hand or have it in their waist or reaching for their side, no. You ain't heard shots. Nobody's aiming nothing at you. Come on now. These cops have car doors to go behind. They got shields. They got backup. They got time.
They're wearing body armor.
And in most cases, cats ain't shooting at the police. There are cases where they do, but those are few and far between and extremely rare. Most of the time, they're trying to ditch the gun and get away. So, yeah, it's so unnecessary, man. These cops are out here trigger happy. Did you hear about the... I got to look this up on... I'm so bad. There's so many names of people murdered by cops, man. It's hard to remember all of them. It's really ridiculous. It shouldn't even be like that.
I know, but that's another thing that, yes, it's the 1-year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. But how come, I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but we know who George Floyd is. But what about everybody else?
Well, here's something that happened about a year before George Floyd. There was in Louisiana, a 49-year-old barber named Ronald Green. Did you hear about this?
Yes.
A video released. Okay, here's what happened. Sorry, I'm reading this real quick, trying to see how to, but I'm just kind of skimming through it. So what happened was, this dude died 2 years ago. Ronald Green, a 49-year-old barber in Louisiana, in a car accident. That's what his family thought. He had a tragic car accident and died. I don't know how, but somebody got the body cam police footage of the responding, quote unquote, responding to the car accident. So what happened was he drove away from the police. They stopped him. And they just beat him senseless and tased him and then took him to the hospital and said he was in an accident. He had taser things in him. He was beaten. It didn't look like a car accident, but they didn't give any explanation. So I guess the family thought, I'm reading through it as it goes, so I guess the family thought that was suspicious and got an attorney and they got some body cam footage. It shows these police beating him, tasing him, talking, just saying the worst stuff to him. And he's begging for his life, saying how scared he is. And this cop, he was bragging about murdering him. That cop found out that the jig was up and he was going to be just fired. He wasn't going to prison. He wasn't getting charged and convicted. He was going to get fired. So he drove his car into something. He died the same day he got fired. He found he was getting fired in a one single vehicle car crash, it said. So this punk coward could go beat somebody and laugh about it, make jokes, and then he go kill himself when he had to be held somewhat accountable. Man.
Well, there was the Associated Press that pushed and got their hands on some body cam that had not been given to Louisiana State Justice people, had not a word of it to the family and Mr. Green. They basically just tried to sit on it. And as soon as the Associated Press came out with then the Louisiana State Police said, we've got all this. But it took...
Oh, and that's when the family was trying to get more footage? Okay, I see.
Yeah. So, they had it the whole time, but they kept insisting they didn't until it was shown that, yes, they do. And it's almost like some sort of hide-and-seek game for these fuckers. Oh, okay, you caught us. Ha, here it all is. And yes, how convenient that the officer that was going to be the focus was killed in a traffic accident. But the videos are unfortunately not anything that hasn't been seen before. And it does have very clear video and audio of Mr. Green asking it to stop. This guy was in no shape to be putting up any resistance. Multiple cops. He's bleeding. He's scared. He's been tased. And for them to put him through this and then tell everybody, the hospital, everyone, oh yeah, he was in a car accident. That's what happened to him. Unbelievable. It's just, these people, I thought they have some sort of oath about truth or something along those lines. I mean, the lawyer for the family is pretty clear, you know. What they've been saying publicly, and this is now from the Louisiana State Police as well, this is almost like what we saw in Minneapolis with Chauvin. As soon as it was clear to them that there's no way they could get out from under this, they threw him under the bus. The leadership of the Minneapolis police came out and said, yeah, fuck him, no way, we can't let this go. There are similar incidents to what the Louisiana State Police is doing right now. They're trying to distance themselves from it. But I can't see how this can even be tolerated by press in the room. The fact is clear. You people had this evidence for over 2 years. You know what happened. So now to come out and say, oh yeah, what these guys did, this is just ridiculous. Well, why now? Wouldn't have anything to do with the Associated Press, would it? Wouldn't have anything to do with the Green family, would it? Assholes. Trying to save their own ass now that the truth is coming out. And these are the people that deserve more money in their budgets? I don't think so.
No. But that's what they do. So they do.
Yep.
They throw money at the stupid problems, man. Like, oh, we'll fund this or that. They just come up with names to filter more money through, funnel it to where it was going to go anyway. And we getting screwed. The people are the ones getting screwed every single time, man. It's garbage. I'm sick of it. You know what I was doing last Saturday night?
What?
Filming pigs in Hollywood. Hey, it's a dude at Film the Police LA, at Film the Police LA, William, he really cleaned Hollywood up. Like, we were there quite a few hours, all over the place, he was monitoring the scanner. I was just looking around. And people were all out in the streets. They had food trucks lined up with everything. Man, I should have went back now, but I didn't. They had like every kind of food you could imagine, even Jamaican food and stuff. They had, sorry, I should have muted. They had lowriders all after. I put some videos of those up. There was just people having fun. They had rappers. I got that video too. I was crossing the street. You know what was coming across the street on the other way? Somebody super famous, man. The Power Rangers.
What?
No, like in Hollywood, people dress up like characters and stand out there and do things, you know, so people give them tips or whatever. Like they'll take pictures of people or something. So yeah, the Power Rangers are crossing the street, so I got to see them up close and personal. But no, nobody was tripping. There wasn't no police. There was weed smoke all down the street. It was nice. Nobody tripping, no problems. Everybody having a good time, but no police around. There were shiny sports cars and lowriders and motorcycles, a 3-wheel, whatever they called. Homie has one. I don't know what it's called. But, yeah, everyone was having fun, doing what they do. And the first cops we ran into was on Hollywood Boulevard, I think. And they had pulled somebody over for driving with their door open. It had those, like, suicide Lamborghini doors that go up on the car.
Oh, yeah.
So he had one of those open while he was driving, which, I mean, they got Jeeps and stuff with no doors. So I don't know how that, if he had a seatbelt on, I don't understand how that was even an issue, but whatever. But then when they pulled him over, they were searching, they had a list of stolen cars and they were searching his VIN number. So they popped the hood open. They were going through, it just seemed really invasive and unnecessary. If they didn't have a reason to believe that car was stolen. I mean, there's a million cars that look like mine, and I'm sure some of them have been stolen. I don't want nobody looking up under my hood or anywhere else in my car for my VIN numbers. That's without, any reasonable cause to do such a thing. But I didn't show up in time to know if he granted them permission to search or not or what happened. So it was cool. And the second time kind of bothered me because it wasn't a stop. It was just a crowd of people, and we saw the police light. So we went over there. And I got a video of it, and it was one of the cops that William films a lot over there. So he was kind of like real quick trying to tell them what, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to be filmed. So like, I ain't doing nothing but sitting here. You don't got to film me. It's kind of boring or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he was doing like security for this white club. He was sitting out in front in his police car. And I asked him, I said, so our tax dollars is paying for the club security here? Is that what it is? He's like, well, I'm not in the club. I'm like, man, neither is he. I'm thinking, I said, you know what? I said, you know what I mean. But like the security sitting out front of the club too. Security don't all be in the club. There's people out and in. And he said he making sure the crowd don't get rowdy. And William brought it to my attention. That means that black cats don't show up, basically. So
that's exactly what that is. That's subsidization of a business cost by the LA taxpayer. That's all that is right there.
Yeah, I was bitching about that on a video when I was showing how the cops always put a cop car in front of the synagogue, but the only cops at the mosque are the ones giving people jaywalking tickets after services. Yeah, I just put that video up, and I was talking in that about how they do the same thing at 7-Eleven. They'll put a cop car in the parking lot, and they'll just sit there for days. And it's supposed to be a quote-unquote deterrent. But we're paying for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about your religion. Figure it out. Hire more security. You got security, hire more like the Muslims have to do. And I really don't care about your business. Figure it out. Hire security. Do whatever you got to do. But my tax dollars shouldn't be paying for your private security.
Yep.
I can't even get a cop to protect me when there's Nazis around. They only protect the Nazis. But they going to go protect a 7-Eleven, a private business with my tax dollars, or a synagogue or anything? See, if they protected all the religious places, you know that I'd be bitching like, why are cops protecting religion? But the fact they only protect the white one makes me believe they're racist, and it's not equal. So I wanted to protect all or nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I don't think that's a hypocritical stance. Like if you're protecting all the religions, I say you shouldn't be protecting religions on my tax dollars because they already you're tax exempt, right? But then if you're protecting one and not the other, then I want you to protect them both equally. They both going through the same thing. In the middle, you know, the Palestinian occupy Palestine thing.
Well, I mean, this only demonstrates something that I think a lot of people really only saw with their naked eye back in Occupy, because it's clear what corporate police exists for, and that is to protect revenue and wealth before people. Same reason you can get thrown into jail for breaking a fucking pane of glass. But if you want to attack somebody from the other side, say 6 or 8 on 1, yeah, whatever, we didn't see that. You know? I mean, it's so obvious. modern policing exists, number one, to protect their own, and number 1A, to protect capital. People are down the list. They're like 3 or 4.
If they're even on that list. I mean, here's the thing, dude. Like we were just saying, the cops will come, and if they happen to show up when someone's shooting at them or someone else, then of course they got to shoot back or use some kind of lethal force, possibly, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing: most people aren't. That's what we were before, but we're the ones that have to stop this, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why everyone doesn't just say, like, this has to stop. You got these bootlickers. Thank you for your service. Blue Lives Matter, blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, and I got to get louder. Oh, I put up another video on Instagram today. This is something that just happened yesterday, day before. I don't remember. I release videos at wacky times. I got videos from a month ago. I'll release later eventually if I release them. But no. This pig, he's been in lots of my videos. He's always telling me where I can go, what I can do. And he always says, like, you can film, but I need you to go over here. One day he took tape. I don't know if I released that video. Him and this other cop took the crime scene tape and, like, pushed it up against my body and stretched it out and started walking back. And they tied it to 2 trees and, like, don't cross that line. I had to walk all the way around the block, came up on the other side of the line. I'm like, see this? You let everybody else over here. You only put the tape there for me. And as soon as I got over there, they ripped the tape down. It was only there for me. See what I'm saying? So I've got into it with this cat 5-6 times, just screaming at him, like, I'm not doing what you say, whatever. You know what I mean? So today he just walked over, looked at me, kind of like gave a what's up thing. And I didn't say a word. I just looked at him. I'm going to look at him dead in his eye. That's what you do to intimidate them. They don't like that.
Yep.
Then he got in his car and left, but he didn't say nothing about where I could go film or whatever. His partner, he got a new partner, though. That could be part of it, too, because his partner was a jerk. I don't know this partner he has. It's a woman. But, yeah, she saw the camera. She got kind of wavy with all the people she was talking to, dude she was talking to. Bye, have a nice day.
Oh, yeah.
If you see the video, she'll look right at the camera. She's smarter, though. She's smarter than the average cop. She's way smarter than this dude. It took him months to figure out. Just leave him, just shut up and don't try to order him around and he won't bother you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think he figured it out. Because I'm quiet. I'm just going to stand there and film. But you piss me off, I'm going to let you know. And that includes if you're messing with the person you messing with. If you piss me off about that, I'm going to go off. You got to walk a fine line. Do your job professional. It's what they pay you the big bucks to do. But yeah, she was really kind of slick. I was looking at the video. Like the minute she saw the camera, she started waving. They're trained like monkeys to wave. They're trained like they wave at cameras. But yeah, as soon as she saw it, she started waving at the dude. Bye, have a great day. And then he did the same thing. Monkey see, monkey do, right?
I wonder if they have a program where they have a few people like this female cop you're describing, and if they rotate them around to try and teach these fucking dumbasses.
I suspect they do meetings or memos across different departments, because I'll start noticing. I'm just guessing. I don't know, but I'm just guessing. Because what I notice is when one of them starts doing something, a lot of times all the other ones will start doing the same. That's when they first started waving and smiling, I remembered that. You know, somebody told them, like, when someone aim a camera at you and do something, don't get aggravated, don't say nothing smart, just wave and smile. Now, you still got the ones that don't do that.
Yeah, so then if you want to go to the Hollywood TV world, then the squad sergeant introduced the lieutenant who read off a list about acceptable PR behaviors for this week.
And be safe out there.
And be safe out there, yeah. So, yeah, you know, I mean, that's how it works in these hierarchical force operations, you know?
Yeah.
It goes down the line, obey, that's it. You know, because they probably said, you know, we can see enough things on YouTube and TikTok and everywhere else about how a lot of you really do behave out there. So we're going to be watching to see if you're following these new protocols. And how many of their own cops do they pay a cop wage to basically do nothing but film these days? Right? Because,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, they always have cops filming everybody else now. So what a gig.
They
like
got
ridiculous.
pigs flying drones now.
Just a drone operator and you're a policeman.
Yeah, hey,
Unreal.
you know what I'm thinking about doing? I was looking into some different laws and talking to a couple of different people. I think it might be awesome to do these. You know how they go and they go stand in front of the police station, try to get them doing stupid things, or as they do in Hollywood, they try to get their license plates when they don't have plates on, or illegal tints. Like, you're pulling people over for this shit. Well, I noticed a few different police departments have these brick walls up and fences that are pretty high. So legally, I guess I can't fly over the police department. But the thing is, if you're like 20, 30 feet up in the air and you got a really good zoom on the drone, and your drone is considered a toy and it's not regulated, by all means, couldn't you just go within a few feet of the fence and up, and see everything? Get all the footage you need?
Well, I don't know. I
I
mean,
think that might be my new thing.
I'm sure if it's not cool, you'll hear about it pretty fast.
Well, it's not going to be quote unquote cool, but it's legal. There's the difference. So they can really just eat a dick up, right?
Yeah, I know. I mean, okay, fine. It may be legal, but if they don't like it, they're going to tell you.
Have you seen my videos? You know what I'm going to tell them?
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, some dude this morning left me a message on YouTube, said, "I feel sorry for you." I laughed, and then I responded.
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, notice how the first verb he wanted to use was feel. And I bet that's a clue about the guy's entire fucking mentality.
He's a bootlicker.
Feels, not facts. Okay. But, it's
I was like,
interesting.
why don't you feel sorry for... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, finish, because I'm going to...
I was like, why don't you feel sorry for the unarmed people, many unarmed, who were murdered by the police and their families. But no, you're the kind of person just saying some stupid stuff. So I said, I see what kind of fascist you are, bootlicker or whatever. That's what my response was.
Yeah, follower.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that, we talk about this, and of all places, in Vice News yesterday, there was a pretty interesting article. I mean, a lot of it's still pedestrian mass consumption media, but it's the first story I've seen that has gone down this road that people on the ground know. And it's by Emma Ackerman, and it's titled, "What if we just stopped calling the cops?"
I saw that. I didn't get to read it all the way. I kind of like skimmed it because I was working. But yeah, go ahead.
For a byline, she says, "For decades, the solution to Black Americans' distrust of cops has often been to not call them. Now white people are catching on too." Now, see, this is a big turning point. I don't think you would have saw that statement coming out of corporate press even 4 years ago. So, it goes on to tell the story about how some people, especially African Americans, they're just like, no, they'll eat it. If it's a property loss, Like they talked to one black woman who found bullet holes in her car. She didn't call the cops because she has a black son at home. And right away, of course, it's going to be about, well, who is he? Is he a gang member? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but that's the reason to pull people over, too. I've seen it. I've been in the cars and they pull people over. You got bullet holes. We're going to ask you questions and harass you for a while and search your car. Man, can I help that somebody shot in my car? That doesn't have nothing to do with what you're going to search me for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's backwards. But yeah, I know a lot of people, me included, have been pulled over bullet holes in your car. It's just dumb. It's the dumbest reason to pull somebody over. But now, they pull people over for air fresheners before. We've been pulled over for an air freshener years ago. It didn't turn out bad. They just had us at the car and searched us for 20 minutes till the white manager came out and was like, that's a rap group I'm working with. And they were coming here. And they were like, oh. Well. But yeah, that was their excuse then. The air freshener was obscuring the vision in a 74 giant Cadillac, homie. Come on. The windows would go on forever.
So small.
But there was like 7 people in it. So most of them black cats. So that's why.
The one thing.
Over. Go ahead.
The one thing that they're saying in this article that is bringing this realization, I'm not going to say awareness because I don't know how the fuck you can't be aware of it anyway, but the realization by more and more white people was actually because of George Floyd. So I find that a little interesting for them to make this connection. But,
yeah,
for a lot of us, it's why didn't Sandra Bland do it?
For the white people, why didn't Kelly Thomas do it?
That too. There you go. There's just been so many that have actually made the news cycle. Never mind the 95, 98% of them that don't. But yet somehow the Floyd murder seems to have made an impact that's not even peaked yet, which I find is pretty different for what we usually see. But I think this is a big deal because all the white people that read this are only going to get one thing out of it anyway. And that's that, white people are afraid of cops now? Well, I think the biggest thing that they don't mention is this is starting to expose how it's a class war. It's not a race war. All the white trash are getting fucked over by the cops as much as the minorities always have. And that is a change. But, when you're a fascist, you can't run out of enemies. You have to make more. It's the only way the system works.
Yeah. Do you hear what Biden said? Somebody said, why hasn't the George Floyd bill been gone through yet? And Biden said something about, I don't want to sign any bill. I want to sign the right bill.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what the Democrats were saying? Oh, my God, how refreshing is it to have a leader that takes the time to get it right. Fucking idiots. That's what they literally said. I'm quoting a tweet right now. They don't understand.
That's the key word. The key word is time.
Time. Yeah, that's what he was taking, the time.
Yeah, we love it.
To deflect and defuse and move on.
Yep.
Yeah, but they so dumb.
Time
man.
to maintain the status quo. But even the status quo on a lot of things is moving pretty fast.
Yeah, I heard the bill and all that.
I was going to say, how about that wonderful state of Texas where basically you want a handgun? Buy one. That's it.
And you can carry it unregulated.
Yep.
But there's a provision in there. I was reading it. They were arguing that if you're going to have it like that, the police need to be free to question anybody about their gun at any time.
So that means any black man or Latino that has a gun gets hassled.
Yep. Anyone they
And
don't
all
deem worthy of having a gun. Anyone past
yep,
this level of dark skin.
yep. But Jim Bob that can't tie his own fucking shoes with a semi-automatic handgun, no problem.
So in Texas, pretty soon, once this all goes through, I think it will, if it hasn't already, you're going to have these idiot LARPers, just like in the pictures we've all seen in the whatever hillbilly stores these people in, what these cats going to have. 2 assault rifles strapped to them, knives and guns all up and down their legs and their shoes, and all kinds of military camo with bulletproof vests at the grocery store or the
Yep.
McDonald's or something, or anywhere, just some restaurant. Some, come on, man. And you think that's not that scary, man? You don't know these people. Why are you dressed like that? I know cats who got guns. They don't need a million of them all over them. That just looks like you scared. What if you have an accident and fall and grab for something and the trigger's there? I don't know that you have everything on safety. Some of those guns might not even have safeties. Is there one in the chamber? I mean, come on, man. You're supposed to just trust everybody walking around looking like they coming from Afghanistan or Iraq. Like we just got home, but we didn't leave the gear with the military. We're just, come on, man. It's a recipe for disaster. Because now you got everyone with guns. They get mad. What are they going to do? It ain't going to be a fight. Ain't nobody have to go get a gun. It's already there. You got cats that's going to, man.
This is the 21st century Sturmabteilung. That's all this is. This is the American
Wild,
SA.
Wild West.
Yeah, but this is the American SA. That's all this is. Back in the 30s in Germany, nobody had guns. Hardly anybody had guns. That's why everybody had sticks and long blades and rope. That's how the SA went about their day-to-day lives. They wore their armband and they carried their weapon. And they were allowed to do so without any idea who the fuck these crackpots are. The only difference now is that, hey, we've got all these guns. Let's sell them. That's the only difference. It's just been, it's the SA on steroids. And how long is it going to be before July 4th weekend? Well, no, we had our basket under that tree first. Fuck you, I always eat under this tree. And then a weekend picnic turns into just another mass shooting.
Yeah, or just idiots shooting up in the air because the gun's so accessible. Them bullets got to come down, man. It's ridiculous. So you're going to have all these cats. As soon as they're old enough to get guns, they're going to have them all over them. Just walking around with holsters on.
And it's a peer pressure thing, too. If you're going to school in Texas, what are they going to do then? What are they going to do with high school seniors who are old enough to own weapons? Are they going to let them just wear them into school?
I'd be the only fool out there swearing I hate guns while I'm concealing one just in case, and eyeballing every fool around me if I ever had to live in a place like that. I would not feel safe.
Insane.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some people are just going to put on guns because everybody else has them and they don't feel safe. They're like, dang, I got to protect myself from these crazies all over the place.
Yeah. When in Rome. But then on the other hand... Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, what's going to happen when someone get into an altercation at their job with their boss or their coworker, It's just it's just right there. Like sometimes it's better to have certain things further away when you're really mad. What's going to happen that night at bars? Are they allowed to take them into bars with them while they're getting drunk? I just see disaster all over the place.
Yep. And the thing is, too, okay, so say one bar decides no armed patrons. It's not happening. So then all the good old boys get pissed off. Then how long before your bar is shot up? After hours? Stuff like that. I mean, this is just not the right way to enforce freedom. And I think, though, on the other hand, considering how apparently Republicans across their only actual interest at this point in time is making sure fewer and fewer people can actually vote, maybe this is just a smokescreen for that.
Yeah. Your voice sounds a little funky. I don't know if it's going over the.
Maybe I was out of range. Is it better?
Yeah, now it's better. It was just a little choppy.
Yeah, okay. Well, then I know the limits with this battery power from my wireless headset.
Oh, okay. I thought it was peaking on my end. I brought it down a little bit. It wasn't that. So yeah, man. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, with the amount of mass shootings daily in the United States, you pass a law like this. Like, this is like saying to deal with the opioid crisis, we will be making them more available. Like, what? Oh, America.
Yeah, it's just the unregulated part. We won't register anything.
Well, I've seen people already.
That was an actual NRA ad. We refuse to register. We refuse to something else. It was just whatever. Crazy fools.
Well, I've already seen some people saying, well, then, so when my driver's license expires, I don't need another one.
Let's just look at another person who was legal to have a open carry gun on him. Followed every law, told the police he had the gun when they asked because it's legal where he lived. Everybody had guns like that. I think you needed a permit though or something. You had to go in, but he had it. Everything was legit. You know what the cop did? Blew him away on a live stream with his girlfriend.
Yep.
I'm really trying to remember his name right now. Give me a second. Philandro Castile. That was his name. Philandro Castile.
And so what exactly was the factor there that led white Quimby cop to not believe this person? Gee, I don't know.
But the NRA didn't even back him. They were like, oh, the cop was cool. They always back the cops. And for all you call the police people, remember about a year or two ago when they shot up that high school? What were the cops doing? Hiding behind a car, letting kids get slaughtered with their guns in their hands outside of the school.
Yep.
Man, don't call the police for what?
Yeah, that's the ultimate case of when you have a bad guy with a gun, you need a good guy with a gun. Well, not when they all sit outside and fucking wait.
Or there was another instance when a good guy with the gun was actually there and tackled the bad guy with the gun, shot him, tackled him, got him on the ground, whatever happened, was holding him at gunpoint until the police arrived, and the police shot the black security guard that was holding the dude down.
Yeah.
The minute they walked through the door, murdered him. Blow. Over with. Too bad you were doing your job. We don't care. You were black.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. The only conclusion you can draw from that.
I mean, you would think they say, freeze, he trying to tell him, I got this guy, this and that, I'm security. No, just shoot him.
Well, see, that's the one thing that blows people away that live in places other than the United States. Because even if you do have a gun in your hand in Canada, you're going to know that they're going to kill you before they do. That's the thing that blows me away about U.S. policing. No, nothing except kill. That's it. That's the first response. That's the only response too much of the time.
Yep.
No demands, no nothing. Just unload. And that's not policing. That's executing. That's what the army does behind enemy lines.
Yeah. That's that.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, it's going to get real bad in Texas if this goes through like they're saying it will. Like really, really bad and really, really dangerous. They should have like travel alert warnings flying into Texas. Like you might not leave if you piss anybody off. Come with a smile. Or be ready to clap back.
I wouldn't be surprised if some enterprising Republican type sets up some sort of handgun rental agency at the major airports in Texas. How long are you here for? Oh, would you like a Sig Sauer? Yeah, okay, well, and that's for 7 days. Very good.
I mean, you need it. It's crazy out there. Everybody got a gun. Look. They're like, oh, yeah, let me get one of those. Man, could you imagine renting a gun? I mean, not like in a shooting range. I mean, just to walk around with. Like these cats gonna rent a gun, put it on a holster on this side, and just go do whatever they do for their vacation.
It seems like a natural progression, doesn't it? You know, you don't live here and you got to get around. Rent a car. You don't live here, you got to get around. Rent a gun.
You don't have money for that return flight, but you have enough to rent a gun. You can get money for that return flight.
We offer loyalty points.
So, yeah, you go stick up all the places, get all the money, and go return the gun. You be like, yeah, I don't have no gun. What are you talking about?
That's a whole nother thing. I'm sure that's in the rental agreement. You're responsible for everything you do with it, not us.
Hey, as long as you don't shoot nobody, they don't know which gun it is, unless it has a company name on it. He had this gun. It was rented from the airport, the Avis Rent-A-Gun. I know, because it had the green logo on the side. Yeah, man,
you never know.
You know what we didn't do? Hang on. Shh.
People's Radio United.
See, nobody knew what they were listening to until I played that just now.
Well, that's a public service then.
Yeah, it was a commercial break. Yeah, we play ads, so what?
PSA.
I'll play it again.
People's Radio United.
Yeah, what?
So there.
Man, hey, did you hear about the guards that were guarding Epstein when he, quote unquote, murdered himself?
Yeah, there's been some more on that. Go ahead.
It leaves a lot of questions. That's all I'm saying. I don't really want to talk about it too much because I'm glad he's dead. I just wish he had died like right after writing a confession or recording a video confession of everything with proof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people say it was like he just killed himself because he didn't want to go to jail and a bunch of weird shit just happened to happen. And then some people say he did it out of loyalty to his rich friends so as to not bring them down with him. And then other people say, depending on if they're Democrat or Republican, either Trump or Hillary Clinton had it all planned out and did it. Paid off everybody. And I always say, why not Trump and Hillary Clinton? That's how they have you fooled. They all hate each other, but then when it comes to Epstein, they're like, hey, Trump, Donnie, give me so much money. I got to get this guy whacked, right?
Well, the only thing that really matters, though, at the end of the day, dead men tell no tales.
Yeah, a lot of people really lucked out with that one.
Oh, yeah. What a surprise.
I mean, they really did. I mean, how do you know everyone didn't pitch in $10? I don't know. There was a lot of them celebrities. Like, how much you got on us whacking Epstein? They just went from rich and famous person house to rich and famous person house and came up with however much. paid everybody off. I don't know, but yeah, it's something fishy there. But who knows, man? I don't really care. He's dead. I hope he suffered, but he didn't.
Well, again, yeah, it's the right result, but what did it stop dead in the tracks as well? That's the thing.
These people are so superficial and fake. They don't care. They don't care if children get abused. All they want to do is point fingers and say, see, it's the guy on the other side doing it. And the other side saying, see, it's the guy on your side doing it. And they're eating the babies and drinking the blood and worshiping Satan too. So it's even worse than our guys. And it's just so stupid, man. Both y'all are sick. Both your people are sick. All kinds of Democrats and Republicans and English people around the world, man, hung with this sick pedo. So,
and don't even have to bring up the Israelis involved as well.
And man, all over the world.
Yeah.
All over the world. All these rich people. It's crazy. It was like the thing to do. Go with this sicko to his parties on his island and rape children, I guess. I don't know, man. Cause look at Dershowitz. He's still a big wig. He still has everything. I think he's still able to practice law. Trump
a whole
kicked it with the guy.
That's
Trump
a whole nother thing, man. Dershowitz. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, well, Trump loved him. Clinton loved him. They all loved him. He was a donor. And even if they knew what was going on, they wouldn't say anything. Look how these Democrats and Republicans are donors, man. They don't care. You're giving us money, you can do whatever you want until you're caught, and we have to denounce you. We talked about this last week, the week before. Ed Buck, same thing. He's murdering people, man. He's murdering people.
For my money, Alan Dershowitz is nothing but Henry Kissinger who loves the camera. That's it. They're both as evil. Easily.
Do you think Dershowitz has as many bodies as Kissinger?
Not directly, but he probably knows of as many.
Yeah.
But again,
Kissinger's a war criminal.
But again, it depends on what levers of power are available to you as well. You know, what I'm saying is if Dershowitz had the opportunities of Kissinger, yeah, it'd probably be exactly the same or even worse.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's just I don't know why these people don't get shunned. It's just the money. And capitalism's so awesome. Money being all throughout our whole political process here is so awesome. Man, look at any campaign, any 4-year campaign. Look at the money spent on it. How many people could that feed and shelter and everything else? And they do this every 2, 4, and 6 years.
Yep.
Billions upon billions on promoting politicians. Like I said before, man, they need to have a law. You can only have so much television time, internet time, whatever, per politician. You can go on your YouTube channel and do whatever you want, but you know what I mean? From the big companies that have millions of whatever, every person gets equal time. Nobody gets more. No lobbyists, no donors. You run. You have national attention. You don't need no money. You don't even need no balloons. You don't need anything. Give that shit to the people who need it, man. Come on. They just throwing money away to get elected.
Because it's not theirs. That's the whole issue. You know? And there's absolutely no way to find out accurately whose money it is. And that's the way they like it. I mean, you talk about what you're talking about there. It's like 40 years ago. That's how it still was in Canada. Every candidate gets free airtime. They get to say their piece. There's strict limits on spending and advertising and everything else. And now that we have the internet, a way for anybody to connect with the rest of the world, all that stuff seems to have disappeared. You know? It's so ass backwards. Now we have the
internet's
tool.
a tool. The internet's a tool just like a telephone was. They'd have candidates and their minions calling people back when there was home landlines and stuff. They probably still do it. Now they just got the robocalls that come out. But man, that's just how it works. It's just an evolved telephone, the internet, communication device. I won't say telephone. It's an evolved form of communication with a lot of other stuff added in, obviously. But why not? Let them use that. You don't have to spend money to use it. Go on Twitter, go on Facebook, go on all the different social media platforms. Promote yourself. Say what you believe in. And then the people need to hold you accountable. This is a thing. Somebody get president, you got to go all crazy and impeach him. No. You should be at will. Every politician should be an at-will employee. Anytime you lie and we can prove it, we can try to get rid of you. We can fire you just like any other job.
Well,
I don't get it, man. I don't get why they have so much power.
of course, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, if you want to try and get an idea of where going a little closer to what you said than the rest of the first world, take a look at Italy. That's had, on average, since the Second World War, a national election every 14 months since the Second World War. Because there's still a vast majority of people in Italy that don't put up with that shit.
Yeah,
you guys are all fucking lying. Yeah, you're all fucking lying. Get out. Let's do this again.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but that's what it takes.
Because you got these two idiot parties. I can't get over this, man.
Yeah, well, that's something else that's unique.
It's so dumb. They just flip-flop all day, flip-flop. All their morals, all their beliefs, whatever their party's doing that day, that's what their beliefs and morals are. And the other one's bad and they're good.
Well, I think to boil it down, the issue is one-party states have all control, whether they're communist or fascist. Doesn't matter. One-party states, it's your ball game. We can't do that. It's too obvious. Okay, let's have two. We'll have two parties, and they're both really working to the same ends.
And they just play the game with a little bit different rules.
Yep. And I mean, I mentioned the International Democratic Union every once in a while, the IDU, and that is, if you look through their bullshit on their website, it actually says that their goal is to have two-party politics everywhere. That is what they want. And that is the best way to maintain the illusion that the people have a say.
Yeah, most definitely. You control the people by making them believe they have control when they really don't. Yeah. They can choose, like you said before, Coke or Pepsi. You're getting cola either way.
Yep. Corn flakes or Frosted Flakes.
Yep. Corn flakes are artificial from Frosted Flakes.
But, that's about it. And meanwhile, all this other shit continues to take up so much oxygen and so much bandwidth, these problems that never get solved. And nobody wants to talk about why that is, never mind the problem itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, it's so sad that people who were prominent in what we call mass communications even 2 generations ago, these people are still right today. People like Marshall McLuhan, people like Noam Chomsky, people like Seymour Hersh, people like Bob Woodward, well, despite his recent behavior, people like Daniel Ellsberg, who is daring the United States government to indict him again. The guy's like 90 years old. And he's determined to make the United States prove in court on public record how the Espionage Act, which is more than 100 years old, can still be used in this day and age. So, I mean, these guys have just never changed. And even with all the advance and the perversion of systems, they're still right. What they say is still right. But yet nobody makes any connection,
Yeah. It's terrible, man. And it happens everywhere. You got all these fascist countries with fascist states, fascist cities, fascist towns, and whatever, man, providences, whatever they call them. The people need to look to their leaders and be like, you're corrupt, you're crooked, you're fascist, you're racist, you're not, or how about this? You might be a cool person, but you're not doing what you're hired to do. You're not doing what you promised, so you're a liar. And get rid of them. When there's got to be, like, look at Gavin Newsom. I know it's the Trump people that want to get rid of him, but he still sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Democrats like him because he's a Democrat. If he was a Republican, then the Republicans would be like, what a great guy.
Yep.
And the Democrats would hate him. There's a lot of people like that, man. Just what side, what color tie are they wearing? Because you couldn't, I don't know. How would I know the difference? They're all so horrible. So
well, that's the other thing too, though. It's this extreme branding. Nobody can just, hi, this is who I am. This is the job I want. That's impossible. It's not allowed. You have to say what team you're on, what brand you are. That's fucked.
We should be demanding everyone, Canadians, United States citizens, everybody, every nation should demand, if they have to have stupid rulers and leaders, when them cats is working for them, really working for them, making their lives better in a tangible, foreseeable way, and right now, not 30 years down the line, within 40 more years we're going to have this. No. Make it good now. You got all the money in the world that we gave you. Make it right now. Use that money for what's right. We should be able to say where our tax dollars go. You can have war. Do you want endless war? Yes. Some people will mark that off. Do you want all kinds of violent police in the street? Yes. Some people will mark that off, as long as they're just shooting the dark people. Do you want... People will check all that stuff off. But most people would say, no, we don't want that. We want clean air. We want fresh water, free. We want free transportation and school. And, we want to get something for our money. We want our politicians to spend our money to make our lives better. We don't need tanks in the streets with military cats swarming a building because some guy overstayed his welcome.
But that takes effort. Too many people aren't willing to put in the effort.
Stupid Michael Moore, dude. Today I heard he was saying something to the effect of, we would love to. It would be so great. I would love nothing more than the police to never have to answer another call for a mental illness thing. But until we have, have 24 hour, he just went through this whole thing, Yeah. So get it. If that's a problem, then fire half the police right now, cut the budget in half, and get mental health people out in the streets, patrolling around, helping people 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I'm all for it, man. You can cut the police budget all the way out, but I'm saying half because you know how these people are. We need police. Who are you going to
this is
call
the
after the fact to take fingerprints and do nothing?
well, it's billable hours. That's what really matters. But the thing about somebody like Michael Moore, this is what he's a master at. He'll come out in favor of something that, yes, it does make sense. So he gets the positive spin from that. But then immediately following that, he will put out this to-do list that is meant to sound like moving a mountain, like it's just inconceivable that all this can happen to make people happy. So status quo,
Well,
fuck you.
Well, that's how he said it. Like, seems impossible. You know what I mean? You have to have 24-hour mental health care.
No, you don't. No, you
I'm just
don't.
telling you what he was saying.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the reality is, no, you
Why
don't.
not? Why not? Have
Because the
people
way
on call
he's,
24 hours a day. That's fine.
but the way he's describing it as one monolithic system that has to be in place.
Oh, yeah, I see.
And then, okay, everything's ready now. Okay, click. We turned the police off. No, that's absolutely not the way to do it. That's the way to prevent it from ever getting done. There are state level agencies. There are municipal agencies that'd be quite willing to hire more people and take these calls. But
That's why I said take half the police budget to start. Let's get it kicked off.
yeah. Up here, city of Calgary, they actually pushed through that they took 20% of their police budget, and it is going to social services. And of course, the cops are going to be breathing over their fucking shoulders the whole time, but they're getting in. They're going to get a chance to prove that they're an addition, not just another cost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding, right?
Yeah. But that's just it. Are they going to give them funding for 1 year and then we have an election and now we're going to stop this? That's not enough data to know shit. So, I mean, it's always possible that progress can be pulled back, but you got to take the steps first.
Here's the game they play. We might have said this before, I don't remember, but it might have been a long time ago. But this is the game they play. They say we need money because crime is up. And here's the reason crime is up, because the cops are pulling everybody over, searching them, and doing like this huge net, making sure they can get guns or drugs, whatever. Crime, car accident, crime, whatever. They're out there creating crimes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The cops go away, the crime goes down. It's been proven time and time again. But then what they do is then they say, oh, crime is up. We need more police. We need more funding. They're the reason crime's up. And then when crime, quote unquote, goes down, then they say, see, what a great job we're doing. Maybe we need even more funding to do an even better job. It's all to get money, fund their tanks and their crazy, insane salaries, man.
Yeah, but don't forget, it goes beyond them too. They are the street level part of the operation, because the more people they arrest, the more people they push through court, the more people that end up in the penal system, which is making money for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's an industry, and the cops are the front line of the industry.
They're the gatekeepers of the industry.
But yet, outfits like LA County Sheriff has social clubs, and that's okay.
Yeah, some would call them gangs.
Yeah.
I mean, the police aren't out there when they go to talk to the news. They don't be like, well, the two neighborhood social clubs were fighting amongst each other and somebody got shot today. They never say that. They say two neighborhood gangs were fighting, two rival gangs, two rival social clubs.
Yep.
When it's them, it's a social club. They so dirty, man. They so dirty. The pigs are so dirty.
And yet they pick the same type of names for their social clubs as the people in the joint do, as the actual bangers do. They're the exact same behavior, but yet we're social clubs.
Yeah, I just saw there's a chat going, and I wasn't even invited. Hello, celeb. Yeah, I don't know, man. These cops, it's just every time. We say it like every week, the same crap. Cops, killing, cops killing, cops being corrupt, cops covering up, cops killing.
Yep. It's almost a theme.
Yeah.
Assholes. So I've been hearing some pretty interesting promotional vaccination ideas coming out of your part of the world. Like what's the wildest one you've heard locally?
Free alligator.
Alligator?
No, I'm just kidding. What was it? Somebody was saying that they're giving away free weed or something.
That's all right.
I don't know who or where or how. I don't even know if it was out here. I mean, it was somewhere probably in the U.S., but yeah, I heard about that. And I said, wow, how does that work? I guess you got to have the card and go to the weed place after you get vaccinated.
Oh, that's it? It's not like a on-site thing?
I don't know. I was just guessing. Maybe they give you some kind of voucher on site. But you know there's going to be some cat at the weed spot every day with a Band-Aid on his arm and a fake voucher. They're like, didn't we see you yesterday? You'd be like, yeah, I'm just doubling up on my shots.
Variants, man, variants.
In 2 weeks, I'll be back 2 more times.
Well, at least, every once in a while, this so-called free market system can come up with something like that. I mean, I guess we can still be thankful that all the organized sport leagues and some of the bigger entertainment companies have been 100% pro-vaccination and encouraging all their fans to do so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're giving away tickets to something. I don't remember what it was. Some big ticket that cost a lot of money to some event, sporting event. And they're going to raffle it off to everybody who gets a vaccination at a certain place or something.
There you
I don't
go.
know. I don't know what sport it was or what it was because I noticed the free weed. I didn't notice the sports tickets.
But at least it is happening because it doesn't have to, I mean, is it all about PR? That's the only question you have to ask when you see entire sports leagues getting, people from all across the league to all chime in with the same message. I mean, that's definitely a corporate decision. And I can't see any corporate decision coming out of Major League Baseball or the National Hockey League or the World Wrestling Entertainment Corporation being about a good deed. That's just not the way shit works. So, I mean, do they think that the PR bump they're going to get from this is the way to go? Or is it because until this is dealt with, they're missing so much of their own revenue because they can't put asses in seats?
Yeah, it's probably part of it too. And it builds hype, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's good to see, but it's not exactly altruistic. Let's put it that way.
I'll tell you what, if for everybody that got vaccinated already or that will get vaccinated or that might get vaccinated. And you know what? Even the people who won't, but they're thinking about it, I'm going to do a free People's Weekly for y'all next week. Totally free. Like, no, you don't even got to pay. It's on me. And I hope, Glenn, I hope you join me for this and take the loss. So, yeah, I just, I'm doing my part here, too.
That's quite selfless of you, Tim.
You know it. That's me. That's why they call me Selfless Tim.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope
What's
I didn't
left?
give away my secret hacker name. Your site has been owned by Selfless Tim.
It sounds like it's sponsor time now.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get this show over with so we can have another one in the bag. Hang on, let me find the music. I got it closer now. See how fast that was?
Impressive. Ergonomics.
Yeah. The things you can reach when you move your computer a foot back. So, yeah, go ahead. You can start it off.
Well, today I'm going with the last of my stock of Chiquita banana. And the older it gets, the more banana-y it gets.
Dang, the last of it? That's always sad to hear.
Oh well, all good things must come to an end.
Yeah, true. I'm really on like 4 or 5 different kinds of waxes. Let me see if I can find a jar with a name. It looks like the last one was Apple Fritter Live Resin Sugar. That's what I was just hitting, along with the Stizzy. And I'm still got that cherry pie gelato or whatever it's called, OG or something. I don't know what it is. Fire though. I think
Right
that's
on.
what I had last week too. Maybe not, but yeah, it's fire. Anything else we didn't go over? Earth-shaking events.
Well, just to make sure we get it in on this show, like we should on every show, trust the plan.
Just the plan, yeah. Oh man, yeah. Homegirl's crazy, dude. Talking about forcing people to wear a mask and get vaccinated is like making people wear a star in the Holocaust.
Unbelievable.
These people are nuts. Here, let me tell you that. She's a Republican, so she's crazy, right? Those people are nuts. I'm going to read something to you real quick before we go from a Democrat. But I agree, she's nuts and she's a Republican, and most of these Republicans are nuts. But the Democrats are equally as bad. Somebody put this on Twitter today. And they were all talking about this, saying the Democratic Party is as offensive as saying the N-word. But then it's meant to be as offensive as saying the N-word. One thing for sure, when someone says Democrat Party, you know immediately who you're dealing with. So they're saying they're the Democratic Party. And if you're a Democrat, if you're a member of the Democratic Party, and some horrible monster calls you a Democrat like me, and first of all, they must be a Republican, and second of all, you just suffered the same. It's the same as saying the N-word. Just like she said, it's the same as the Holocaust. These people are nuts, man. I think we need to get rid of both parties.
That doesn't make any sense at all to me.
Neither one makes sense at all.
No. Actually,
And you know what my response to that was?
what?
Fuck this racist Democrat. The music's
Well,
over.
there you go. Well, I know who would certainly have an opinion on that, and that would be Dr. Sebastian Gorka.
I don't think he cares one way or another what his enemy is called. But yeah, whatever they don't want to be called is what he'd probably call them. Oh,
Just cuts.
I think I sent you something, a little Twitter dispute I had with somebody, or I was checking them about something. I don't remember. Yeah, those was the people from that radio show at work
Oh, yeah.
with Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Yeah, that's them. It was just crazy. It was just like they'd responded to Adam or somebody on Twitter, and I went off on them. And then I looked, and I was like, wait a minute. I thought that show was much larger than it was. They really went to the... They don't even have as many followers as People Radio, dude. People's Radio United has like over double the amount of followers they have. And they're a syndicated national radio thing. I hope they probably got a huge Facebook because they're really right wing or whatever. But on Twitter, yeah, they got very few people.
Yeah, they're probably on Gab.
Yeah, something like more right wingish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Their element.
yeah.
Oh,
Because we're tiny,
whatever.
like the big talk of the town today was that we actually had 3 whole listeners the last time we were on Twitch, because we do it big.
Yeah, Twitch. Well, we discussed Twitch before we went on air, so,
Yeah.
whatever.
So cool. Well, I guess that wraps it up. Thank you to all the billions of potential listeners out there, and Celeb Scolder. And thank you, Glenn, as always. And just, get some coffee. Next week we got to do this free show for the people. All right. So I guess I'm going to end it.